Hey everybody, Dr. Stephen James here to bring you another installment of Day in the Life in GTA Online. In case you missed my part 1 video, this here is the girl, or Stephanie if you prefer, the queen pin of the GTA Online servers. Continuing to work her way up in the world, this is the story of how she does it. Enjoy. Kicking off the story from directly where I left off in part 1. Link to that will be in the description, by the way. Cleanliness is next to managerliness, to quote SpongeBob. Before this season is over, there are 3 major properties that I want to purchase before this season is over. The first being a Deluxo super yacht. The second being a submarine, and also courtesy of Warstock, a bike that is one of those turbine bikes, which is just as expensive as a super yacht. And the fourth and final property is one of those ridiculously expensive Japanese bikes called the Shatoro. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother trying to pronounce it. Before heading out into the world to make that money, it is time for a change of attire, especially since I have worn these clothes in the part 1 video, so they're probably smelling pretty ripe anyway. But also, more importantly, I like to keep it fresh. Now, full disclosure, I meant to release this video before the end of February, but I have been extremely busy playing other open world games besides this one. But I assure you, if this were a leap year, still would have taken a while. Let's be honest, there's no consistency with my schedule. So, be sure to subscribe and click that bell notification to be notified. I try my best to keep a strict schedule, but as you can imagine, there's a lot to do in life. Anyway, I now set my waypoint to my counterfeit cash warehouse to continue making cash, cabbage, cheddar cheese. But on my way over there, something catches my attention. One of those exotic supercars. And since I'm in the mood for some easy 20k, I proceed to go over to it. But before I do, I'm curious to see if there's been an update to open the doors in that building, and unfortunately there is not, so I proceed to set my waypoint to the pier, because there is nothing more exciting than being stranded at the pier without a vehicle upon delivering something. Finally made my way over to the pier after taking a little bit of damage, but fortunately the buyers don't really care what condition these exotic cars are in. So with that being done, I pocket a cool 20 grand for my efforts, and I make my way over to try to find a vehicle. Instead of making my way to the counterfeit cash depot, I decide to set my waypoint to my clubhouse so that I can pick up a motorcycle, since I am registered as the president of a motorcycle club after all. Also because I like checking myself out while sitting on a motorcycle. Also, it has just occurred to me, you guys have never seen my fleet of motorcycles. Not a bad collection. I'm sorry, I forgot that you couldn't really see 2 of those bikes that well because the lighting is about as good as any cheap warehouse. And also, I meant to put on a cowboy hat along to complete my outfit, but I don't really spend a lot of time with accessories, so I forgot. But anyway, with that being done, I mean, it's completely irrelevant, since if I were to put on a helmet, it would remove the hat anyway, so, but whatever. After that, I'm ready to head over to my cash warehouse like I was going to do in the first place. I don't bother setting a waypoint because it's a pretty easy location to have down. But on my way over, some punk decides to cut me as I proceed to go down the street across the street without a second thought of caution. Anywho, after making 2 pit stops, one to deliver an exotic sports car and one to pick up a bike and accessorize a little, finally at my cash warehouse. To say that business is booming would be an overstatement, but to be fair, I have only had this counterfeit cash business for a little while at this point, like no more than a few in-game days. But anyway, I need to resupply, so I proceed to start a job. I realize these missions are randomly generated, but I just love how the resupply mission takes me to the complete opposite end of the island. After taking out the Vagos, I pop a flare to alert intercept the supply drop that they were waiting on. With the supplies finally being delivered, I proceed to loot all the Vagos on my way out, because just like with Red Dead Online, looting is everything. Anyway, time for yet another long drive along the San Andreas roads. 8 long minutes later, the resupply has been successful. While the supplies are being turned into stock, I decide to sell what I have so far, which will and of course I choose to sell in San Andreas because it pays more. And of course the supplies are going to be in a helicopter, so I set my waypoint over there so that and go off-road, because why not? It'll get there much faster, especially as this shit is time sensitive. LJT reminds me to fly low, as the military base, which I have a hangar on, has radar and therefore will use homing-seeking missiles to take out my supply. On my way to the final supply drop location, my helicopter decides to do a little wiggle. All goods successfully sold, and with that, I pocket over $70,000. Man, if only it were this easy to make money in real life. Anyway, I proceed to land my helicopter behind my cocaine lab and hop a fence, and let us go see how this business is fair. It looks like the business is doing okay, but I really thought I would have more product for some reason. But, regardless, it's time to resupply. I now hop in my helicopter to go to the Tequila La Inn for yet another one-sided fist fight. I say one-sided fist fight because some of the bikers don't like to play fair. Some a lot of them like to use melee weapons. It's kind of stupid that these NPCs are armed to the teeth, and yet I'm stuck using my fists. But anyway, I definitely got there much faster in this helicopter than I would any road vehicle. Although, the tricky part can be trying to find a place to land. But anyway, I do that and pray that it'll still be there in the event that I die. If you don't remember, last time I did this in my part 1 video, the vehicle, my preferred vehicle I was using, despawned because I died so many times. Just wanted to see if I could get another way in, but no, looks like I have to take the front door no matter what. Kind of stupid, but I guess if I have to check my weapons at the door, it figures. I finally take out the last guy. I did die about 5 times, but not bad all things considered. I walk out of the club thinking my helicopter better not have despawned. And yay, it's still there. So, for the fastest delivery ever, the fastest resupply ever, I hop back in the helicopter and make my way back over to the Alamo Sea. And in case you all didn't know the drill by now, I proceed. It's now time to sell the stock that I currently have. And I bring the truck over to this location to complete possibly one of the easiest deliveries I've ever made. I did have some rednecks firing at me from their dirt bikes, but with this truck and that giant crate in the back, makes me about as bulletproof from the rear as the tank would. For the next order of business, I make my way over to my auto shop because it is not on foot, because it is not that far of a walk. One complaint I heard about LA, on a list that's long and distinguished, is how spread out everything is. Like, people say you pretty much need a car, but so I guess not every game is an accurate portrayal of the city it's based off of. Because honestly, it's not really that difficult. But what do I know? The furthest west I've ever been was Sacramento. On my way over, I feel my controller vibrate, which means I'm close to a collectible. I follow the vibrating controller as it intensifies. I find a thing of LD's cash. So, oh yeah, and before this season of the series is over, I'm going to try to find all of 2 other collectibles, but this one isn't one of them though. I will grab whatever I come across, but yeah, 100 is just way too much. Anyway, trying to get back on course, I hop over the fence one more time, like Ninja. Well, not really. I think a ninja would have a little more finesse. I had to tuck and roll with that. I feel like a ninja would have stuck the landing way better. And guys, just look at this gorgeous detail of the map. I mean, I realize this is a newer version of a 2013 release, but just look at that sunset. People always talk about how gorgeous the map of Red Dead Redemption 2 is. But you have to admit, GTA 5 is really ahead of its time with graphics. It's just that no one really talks about it anymore, either because we're used to it or simply or because they have since released games with better graphics, whichever the case may be. I feel like we don't really appreciate the gorgeousness of these graphics anymore, not like we used to. So anyway, continuing to make my way to my auto shop while painting my camera in various angles with my hand on my nuts. Finally, just ahead of my auto shop, I passed by 3 people who are either homeless or they are so high right now they think that solid concrete is comfortable enough to sleep on. Anyway, continuing on to the auto shop heist, I proceed to do the second setup for getting paid by Avi. Yeah, remember Avi Schwartzman, the guy that helped Lester and Paige with the Pacific Standard heist? Quite a throwback, isn't it? So, anyway, that is only the second heist I've done since I bought that shop. So, just like with the counterfeit cash business, the auto shop was purchased fairly recently, so I think I've had the auto shop a tad bit longer, but that's beside the point. Anyway, the objective is to obtain as much gear as I can within the time limit so that I can defend Avi while he does the hack. And of course take out anyone who stands in my way like you see me doing right now. I mean, the loot isn't too bad, but the only things I'm able to obtain is one of those giant guns that can take down a plane that you can attach to that is attached to an SUV, and a few missile launchers. Anyway, those are the missile launchers successfully delivered. Now on to get the next bit of supplies right after I take out these assholes. At least the game was feeling decent enough to give me my bike so that I would not have to worry about finding one. And I make my way over to the location where Merryweather has their plane missile thing that I take down. And apparently the officer forgot what side he was on, because here I am rolling up against armed security that the airport security had, without a doubt, is getting paid to assist. And guess what? The security at the gate decides to help me. That reminds me of a time that I purchased the tow truck company as Franklin Clinton, And for those of you who don't know, the first thing, the first mission is I have to tow an abandoned car, only the car is not abandoned. There is a guy sleeping inside, and then he shoots at you. Only one particular time, the car was just outside of a police station, and once the guy fires at me, the police shoot him down. And the reason why I bring up that story is because it's one of the few instances in which the police NPCs are actually very helpful. And when they are helpful, it's very amusing to watch, I have to admit. But anyway, that's another piece of equipment successfully obtained. And you know what would be really nice? If the timer would stop while the animation was going, because you have no control over it. Honestly, if it weren't for that animation, probably could have gotten this last one done. Nah, not really. Wasn't even close. But 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Now don't be sad, 'cause 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Rest in peace, Michael Lee Aday, commonly known as Meatloaf. Well, I've done all I can with the first 2 setups, now for the finale. And can I just say, I am really glad that they made a lot of these newer heists doable in solo. It's because honestly, I mean, not only am I a solo act, but there are a lot of people who can really drag you down. Anyway, since the bunker is all the way in Grapeseed, let me go ahead and flash forward to the part where we actually get there. 4 minutes later, I make it to the bunker. I could have parked it outside, but I figured why not? Just park it indoors. Now look at that, there are guards right at the front door. It's almost as if they knew I was coming. Almost. I know he was obviously just guarding the front entrance. Finally take out all the men in the room, except that wasn't the first one. I mean, the last one. The sneaky stepdad was hiding behind a crate the whole time. But anyway, I rip out the first hard drive in the game, loot some guys of their cash and ammo, and then I proceed to the next hallway, which more guards are waiting for me. Man, whose bunker am I robbing again? Has that ever been disclosed? Disclosed? Maybe we shouldn't be messing with people who have their own personal bunker and armed security. But, hey, what do I know? Yeah. Hey, what do I know about common sense? I did choose a life of crime after all, which inevitably got me killed. Anyway, once I take out one of these guards, I will finally be able to get the second out of 4 hard drives. On my way to taking out this one guard trying to run up on me, I pick up a health kit, which doesn't really do much. But anyway, as per usual, I take out anyone in my way and take out another hard drive. 3 down, 1 to go. On my way to the last hard drive, I take out a security camera. Can't really remember why. It's not like I'm wearing a mask, which I bothered to pick out. Yeah, why am I not wearing a mask? I don't know. I don't think the I don't think the notification at the top left corner of the screen to put on a mask ever came up, but whatever. And that is the final hard drive. Time to make my way back to Sonata's vehicle. And yes, I am well aware that I butchered the pronunciation of her name, Sumi. And with the bunker now in my rearview mirror, I have to now take these hard drives to the pier over to Avi so that he can download the data and I get paid. And about 5 minutes later, I roll up to the pier and Avi's guards are armed and ready, which is good because I happen to bring a few of the troops from Merryweather with me. So I use a pistol because I'm feeling like a total badass to make short work of the helicopter. Well, it actually takes way more shots than it should, but I got him down in the end. Anyway, with the helicopter now gone, I can go to Avi and insert the 4 hard drives I have in my sack and prepare for forces by picking up armor and some ammo. And I take out a bunch of Merryweather forces before I realized I have an anti-helicopter tank and a bunch of heavy weapons. And I know I've been saying they're missile launchers, but only one's a missile launcher and the other's a minigun, which is honestly not... And a minigun isn't really idea for taking cover. Like, it's not possible, and believe me, you want to take cover from these guys. See what I mean? And since I lost one of my lives when I was in the bunker, it caused me to fail the mission, which I now have to restart. Well, at least from the last checkpoint. I don't have to go back to the bunker, luckily. Anyway, after giving myself some suppressive fire, I go back to the armored tank and the weapons, flash forwarding through all the failed attempts to the point where I finally figure out how to get onto the ding dang turret so that I can make better work against these helicopters and these forces and these obnoxious little demolition cars that just love to commit jihad on your ass. Anyway, after taking out the last jihad car, I get out of my turret in order to move the vehicle so that the turret is not covered by the roof of a gas station. Just kidding, I don't know what I did back there, but it caused me to lose my life. Now let's see if I can make my way back to the turret before either the vehicle or the guy in the jihad car takes me out. It's the jihad. I'm sure there are a lot of you who don't know this because I feel like it's not common knowledge, but if you're wondering what jihad is, it is the Muslim extremist practice where a terrorist is in a vehicle that, and he or she pretty much takes out as many civilians with a vehicle as they can. It's literally the same thing as like a kamikaze, only instead of planes you're using cars. And that's what the practice of jihad is. And if you're wondering where I learned that, it's from a Netflix documentary series called Terrorism Close Calls. And as I was watching that, I mean, I never realized just how many attempts on Americans there were. And suddenly, all those obnoxious security measures at the airport make sense. Anyway, one of the Merryweather guards somehow managed to slip past my defenses, so I have to take out a Merryweather guard right before he could do damage to Avery. Anyway, from this point on, the upload is complete. Now all that remains is to take out the remaining enemy forces. And there are only a few left, including one that managed to once again slip into the station and make an attempt on him, on Avi. Just taking a few enemy forces left, and including one more helicopter. And the very last guy appears to be hiding because he's not moving. But in all likely, it's most likely just a glitch. I will round the corner to find out. And it looks like he's stuck on something. I proceed to pick my weapon of choice. I decided on a sniper because I don't want to get too close. And that is done. So I then proceed to speak to Avi Schwartzman. He tells me good work. The data has been successfully uploaded, and here's my cut. 153 grand. Not half bad at all. But anyway, that's the video for this month. Really hope you enjoyed. Again, sorry this upload took a while. But I'm going to upload a video from this series every month. And it might be 2 this month because, again, this upload was supposed to be made in February, so no promises there. But if you want to see more like this, be sure to subscribe and turn on that bell notification so you don't miss out. And as always, it's Dr. Stephen James saying peace. Later, guys.